Hi, everybody. It's Michael Condon here, bringing you a Sunday night live chat that we usually don't have. I just came from my second viewing at the IMAX Theater. It is the largest one on the East Coast with my buddy Mike.
Hey, I'm Michael McGough. This is also my second viewing. This is my first time seeing it in IMAX 3D. I saw it here in Brooklyn at the Prospect Park Nighthawk traditional 2D Thursday night, technically Friday morning at 12:45 showing. So it's cool to break it down and see it a second time. I'm sure Mike agrees. We've watched all Star Wars things multiple times. Now that this is a new release, it's nice to see it again and kind of dig into it. So, yeah, Mike, pleasure to be here.
Well, it's great to have you.
Thanks.
We also have to thank Mr. Pappas for, as always, being a great friend. That's all I really need to say right now. I kept up with a lot of the spoilers. And,
Me too. Yeah.
Well, I kept up with more than you did, okay?
Well,
Because I'm better than you in Star Wars.
yes, fine.
No, it's not a competition.
It's not, but okay, if that makes you feel better.
It doesn't. Now I feel bad.
I also kept up with the spoilers, so I knew a bit about. No, I Jedi Paxis is his name on the Reddit.
Yes.
Yeah, I kept up with his stuff, and it turned out to be pretty accurate. A lot of it did. I know JJ did some edits towards the end that didn't hold up to all of the leaks exactly. Mm-hmm. So that stuff was a bit of a surprise, but a lot of the main points I also knew about from the spoilers too.
Well, you have the reshoots, but there's always reshoots.
Yes.
So, you know, the idiots that, there's reshoots. There's reshoots for every movie. That's just because Star Wars is doing the reshoots. Everyone has to make, not everyone, just idiots, make a big deal out of it. So,
and apparently a lot of the reshoots were down to the wire, and the edits were down to the wire. So as far the Paxis stuff, Kylo, for example, Kylo was thrown down the chasm by Palpatine, but there was never anything about him climbing back up originally, or the kiss, or the redemption, or him fading away. It was just kind of originally the spoiler was he's dead. He got threw down the chasm. Palpatine threw him down, like Vader threw Palpatine down, and that was the end of Kylo, or Ben at this point, right? So that was, that was new as compared to the spoilers that we read originally. And I thought the kiss was a nice moment.
You're a fucking idiot.
I know. I'm a romantic.
That was just. I don't want to get all the way into it right now because
Raylo forever.
People are gonna hate you now.
I know they'll hate me. Fuck it.
I'm gonna lose.
It was cute. Whatever.
I barely have any subscribers. I just lost them all now.
Oh, let me start on The Last Jedi, and they'll really fucking hate me.
Yeah, you're an idiot for that one too.
Fuck all of you.
We stopped on the way back home at the Commonwealth, which is a bar in Brooklyn, because we wanted some place where he could have a couple drinks and we could just basically shoot the shit.
My name is McGough. I'm gonna drink after the movie. So,
I don't really know what that means.
After Catholic Mass, traditionally, we would go to the bar afterwards. Just say.
Okay, even like when you went 8 o'clock in the morning, or
like Star Wars films are like a mass in a way,
Okay.
It was on a Sunday. We did see it today, and it's a Sunday.
So now, what are your quick first impressions? So tell me. All right. You don't really have to grade it like a number. You can if you want to.
I don't want to.
You don't want to?
No.
Okay, so yay or nay on the movie?
Yay. Overall, yay. I mean, it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. There are a bunch of scenes I enjoyed more than others. The critical stuff we'll get into, obviously. But overall, my impression is, on the second viewing, I like it. I like it. What was
your favorite part or what was the best part of the movie, because that what you feel is the best part might not be your favorite part of the movie.
My favorite parts, or at least the parts that stand out to me, are the ones that are emotionally resonant. Why I liked The Last Jedi is because I really like the scenes between Luke and Rey and Kylo and Rey. And I felt those were the most emotionally resonant. And in this film as well, and you can add Han, obviously, on top of this as emotionally resonant.
Oh, by the way, this is going to be spoiler filled.
Tons of fucking spoilers. So, I mean, that's why we're here. But for me, the quiet moments, which there weren't very many in Rise of Skywalker, because it was such a busy film, and a lot of the critics have remarked upon this as well, and bloggers, etc., is that there's a lot going on, there's a little rest, but the moments that were quieter and more character driven, I really enjoyed. So just like Last Jedi, I really enjoyed the Luke Rey scenes, the Han Kylo Ben scenes, and the Ben Rey scenes. Those are my favorite. Those are the ones that resonated with me the most emotionally, and those were the ones I was waiting for this film. So yeah, those stand out for me.
If you see me making faces of disgust, it's because I'm trying to do things on the computer, so we can't even see ourselves right now. I hope we're in.
It's not because of my opinion.
No, his opinion is actually correct most of the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Just doing things. So
it's nice to be right.
Oh, we got Mr. Resin here. Mr. Rez is a good supporter of this channel.
I'm Mr. Rez.
This is actually this broadcast is brought to you by Mr. Rez, the first and greatest Patreon of the Toomedtoo channel. And that's not just because he's the only one. So he is lonely. So, if you just want to throw me a couple $, a month so that I can, buy some things like just not my RDS syndrome or my RDS, Reginald Dwight syndrome, real name for Elton John, where, he spends $2 million on flowers a year.
But he's still standing.
Yes, he is.
He's still standing.
And I was going to try and think of something witty to say back with that, and I couldn't think of a song title right off the top to flow right there to go, so I'm just going to give it up. But, yeah, it's basically I'm not giving away T-shirts and stickers like some people do to get you to join. That's what I do just for subscriptions. It's just, to bankroll that money and let it add up and help me buy a camera when I go and be able to live stream. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Support him closer, tiny blogger.
Okay. So anyways, Mr. Rez, thank you for all of your support that you do, and everyone should be more like Mr. Rez. But,
thanks, Mr. Rez.
Okay, so we did get. I know I like to do a little bit of merch.
Here's the merch
opening, and as I said, we are at a bar, so it might be a little bit loud. Some other people coming in and out, whatever. So you just have to deal with it because that's how the fuck it is today. And we have. It might be a little bit hard to see here. I don't have my phone's about to die, so I turned it off, so I can't give you any more light. But here we go. We got the Rise of Skywalker.
That's the poster from the IMAX experience.
You got a phone on you?
I do.
You got a light on there so we can show these people?
I definitely do. All right, kids, get ready for the light.
What if you backlit it? How do you think it would come out if you backlit it?
Oh, well, we're going to find out.
Okay, backlit. All right, we'll try front lighting it now. There you go. So we have the sound effects by Mike, and then we have the scene towards the end, or almost the end of the movie, where they are at the Death Star fighting each other. Right? That was the Death Star they were at? Yeah, I think that's the Endor so it's actually, moon. Which we have to discuss, actually, because is it clear? I wanted to ask this, and maybe the folks that are on right now, like Mr. Ez, would like to comment.
is the Endor moon in Rise of Skywalker the same Endor moon in Return of the Jedi, or another moon of Endor?
Well, there are 9 moons of Endor.
See? Okay.
But so yeah, we have like normal. There's really no structure to this, so
Yeah.
we just went right to the middle or the end. So,
We're just spitballing here.
yeah,
We're
so
spitballing.
no,
I'm
it's-
drinking beers and smoking cigarettes. Let's go.
that was what a lot of the discussion was it was on Endor, and then everyone got into, well, Endor is actually a moon. It's the forest moon of Endor because there's a planet Endor, but every moon in that system is
a moon of Endor.
Is a moon of Endor. So that was a lot of what was being talked about, and
yet we see Wicket. Warwick Davis comes back at the end,
Yep.
which was very nice little cameo. You know, whether you like the Ewoks or not, or you think Return of the Jedi is like bullshit because of the Ewoks, like whatever. I personally thought it was nice to see Warwick Davis. I love Warwick Davis. Loved Willow. All of his multiple cameos throughout the Star Wars films. And I thought it was cute, and it was nice to see it. You know, even if you think they're little teddy bears.
oh, and James, because I always forget and do it at the end. Here's my.
Oh, wait. Oh, I got one too. I have a Mos Eisley Cantina shirt
Oh, okay.
with the Modal Nodes tour shirt.
All right.
That's
Well,
mine.
this is mine is the Sith list, pretty in pink, which is the stormtrooper, the Sith stormtroopers because they're red.
The red.
And
John Hughes.
taken off of the John Hughes movie, Pretty in Pink.
Sure.
Because that Araj, he is a genius when it comes to all of those things. If that's what he thought of, if not, there was someone else. And it says Michael down there, so that's for you.
Oh, wow.
And then-
I mean.
And then we could do these other things too, where we'll be like, okay, let's be cool and check this out, dude. A professional right here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's the live stream CNN broadcast.
No, it'd be Fox News.
That's Fox News.
It would be Fox News if it was me, but that's why we don't talk about politics. 'Cause I'd lose all-
The impeachment of Ryan Johnson is bullshit. Ha!
So, what are we got talking about? Yeah, it was Wicket. Well, it was
Yeah, Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they would have someone other than Warwick Davis. And there is some merch also. I know on my live streams at home, even though I've just opened up 25 or 22 pieces of merch so far. A couple of the last ones have been new.
Get that merch.
We got 2 more to go. I'm not sure what they're going to be open because I still have a lot more boxes. And my girlfriend found out about my secret stash spot because she was yelling at me for some bullshit about cleaning up in my boxes and everything. And I was like, here, and I just put them down there. And she's like, you can't put stuff down there. And I was like, been putting it down there for 2 years, and you didn't even know it. So
It's a secret. Michael put Kenner out of business. It's true.
I don't even know what that means.
Whatever. This is a merch thing.
Yeah. So, but I do have, besides that wonderful poster that I showed you, anybody wants one of those posters, let me know, and I'll mail it to you.
If anyone would like popcorn, please DM Michael.
I will mail you popcorn also.
Mailing you popcorn.
Definitely.
This is
probably gonna happen.
IMAX Manhattan popcorn. Is delicious.
Yes, it's wonderful. So don't get ashes in my popcorn, dude.
I'm not. I'm a professional.
I haven't had a cigarette and
Michael's hating me so bad.
no, I kind of want a cigarette right now. It's been a couple months,
I'll bust you down, son.
I mean, I'll probably have one in a little while. I'll give up because I'm weak. It's like I'm not gonna have a drink though. I mean, because that will ruin my life. That's the one thing.
So okay, let's launch back into.
Oh,
the
we were
Rise
talking
of
about Star Wars.
Skywalker.
Okay.
Yes,
All
we
right,
were talking
Skywalker.
about the Rise of Skywalker,
So, okay.
specifically the Star Wars. We're not talking about Mandalorian. We're not talking about.
Nope.
We're talking about
Great
the Rise
show.
of Skywalker.
No, that is true. That is true. Okay,
Right.
So
Michael.
nobody wants any of these posters.
Michael was taking notes
Oh,
throughout.
Kilo wants poster. Okay, Kilo gets a poster. Yeah, I took some notes.
Took some notes. So we're gonna dig right into it.
Well,
We're
I
gonna-
just went through some when people have questions and talk about stuff that I can, then have a reference point of where in the movie it was exactly what came before. It's kind of hard to read, so.
This is very coffee talk. It's like the rise of Skywalker was neither the rise nor the Skywalker discuss.
Okay, so we got your favorite or your best part. What is what would you say your least favorite?
My least favorite. I mean, it was rushed. It was rushed, and I'm not going to deny that. And as a Last Jedi defender, which I am, I felt like a lot of things were retconned. We're basically a going backwards on what Rian Johnson did, and that makes sense because why? JJ started this new sequel trilogy and he ended it. And in the middle, Rian Johnson did his little thing, didn't make a lot of people happy, made critics happy, made me happy. I agreed with the critics. I thought it was nuanced. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a left turn. I liked that it did something new with Star Wars. Not everyone was happy with it. On that end, I will say the Finn Rose plot was bullshit and went nowhere. It essentially went nowhere. But I felt that some of the Rise of Skywalker was a retcon. Was JJ being like, no. Rey being a nobody. No. There's the bloodline thing again, which is fine, and I enjoy it as it is. But I did sense that even Rose's involvement in the film was kind of a backpedal from her character in The Last Jedi. She was very important to Finn, and she's sidelined in this. And there was a lot of flack from the community about Rose. And while I agree that plotline was bullshit, I did enjoy...
Dude, I'm a fucking genius.
Her character. We would just brighten this shit up.
Yeah, dude.
Look at me. I'm more pasty and red than I ever thought I could. Oh, God, now I'm really red. Look at my nose. Anyway, so, hi, beautiful people.
Now I gotta take off my glasses.
But, yeah, I mean, thoroughly enjoyable. Rise of Skywalker for me, thoroughly enjoyable. Moved quickly. Definitely went backwards on some Last Jedi stuff. Rian Johnson ideas. That's fine. I get it. I felt certain parts, like I was talking about before, had emotional resonance. I didn't feel that there was as many emotionally resonant parts of Rise of Skywalker because it was moving so quickly. You didn't have time to kind of stop and develop the characters because there was so much to do. You had to wrap up the sequel trilogy. You had to wrap up the entire 9-part series in general. You had a lot to do as a filmmaker. And so I get that. But I will say my critique is it moved too fast and it retconned a lot of what Rian Johnson tried to do.
Yeah, it did move too fast. They could have easily made it a 3-hour movie, add another half hour onto it or whatever.
Wait for the Blu-ray.
That's director's cut. I want a 4 hours director's cut because that's really what you need. They could have easily made part 1 and part 2.
Which, by the way, J.J. Abrams and director's commentary, he hates director's commentary. I had to buy the Star Wars 3D of The Force Awakens in order to get a J.J. Abrams commentary, and I don't even have a 3D Blu-ray player or TV or any of that shit. I just bought it because I wanted to hear, I wanted the extra deleted scenes, and I wanted to hear what J.J. had to say about the film. When Rise of Skywalker comes out on Blu-ray, I don't know if we're guaranteed a director's commentary.
Dude, I just gave us light and everybody left.
I know, we're ugly now.
No, seriously, everybody left. So it's not that dark.
Just put us in a cave. It's fine. A wine cave. Politics. Anyway.
And they could have made it, done like a Harry Potter thing and made 2 3-hour movies out of this. And I don't think it would have been stretching it because there's so much to talk about. Although the first third of the movie or half of the movie really did feel like an old Star Wars movie where the blasters and
the camaraderie between the cast, the 3 mains.
Just the stormtroopers and the fighting and in the ships, and then just like everything. And then it went to, I understand that it just kind of changed then and slowed down so much. It was like it went so fast and then it just slowed down. Where it's like
they needed to develop what they needed to develop,
and
according to the story.
And then even with the whole Palpatine thing and Palpatine coming back, they could have actually told a story instead of just saying, there you go, boom, there it is, or it's in the fucking crawl. Like, it's in the crawl, here we go. So you put it in the crawl, you don't need to explain it. Well, okay, but now, this isn't one of those. I mean, maybe.
Why did Palpatine wait so long to make this transmission? Why? So this is a year or so after Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
So Kylo Ren's been the supreme leader for a year, let's say. It's a year later.
Yeah.
Why does Palpatine decide now is the right time to make a broadcast like, hey, I'm still here, I'm alive, I got this big fucking fleet, why wait that long? What was the timing of it? It seemed convenient to the plot, obviously, but there, like you said, there was no reasoning behind why did Palpatine suddenly come along at this point in the story.
And I mean, he didn't even know about the dyad of them, which
see in the original leaks he did. From the Reddit, like Jedi Paxis, he did know about the dyad, and he actually, supposedly, I think, referenced the dyad in certain dialogue scenes, and that was just apparent. If those leaks were true, that was taken out, and then Kylo told Rey, "There's a dyad. We are the dyad. This is the thing." So for Palpatine to be ignorant of that fact. The dyad thing was kind of. I mean, a lot of it was just tossed off.
I don't know why they. I mean, it's with the whole Russian thing, not Russian, but like the Russian, not like
I will break you.
Yes.
But
no. Yeah. But it's just
Russia might be watching this. By the way,
they probably are. But
all the drunk Americans talking about Star Wars.
So, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't so rushed, they would have been able to do it better. But he didn't know about it, and then because he says, like, when his fingers grow back, wait a second, you guys got the power to bring me back alive.
Yes.
He says that the two of you together, you're going to die, so he's going to kill them both. It doesn't really matter. So that's not those two sentences, 30 seconds apart or whatever it is, aren't connected. He thought, Rey's going to kill me, and I'm going to live inside of her. And then the next thing he knows, I'm going to kill you both. Wait a second. I'm going to kill you both, and now I'm going to get these powers, which he didn't know about.
And let's go back to the first part, which is he wanted to kill her. Then when she gets there, he wanted her to kill him. And then when Kylo gets there, or Ben gets there, he's Ben at that point, right?
Yeah.
It's I'm going to siphon it off of you. So there's like three different things going on. I as Palpatine want to kill Rey. Then I want Rey to kill me, which she was already like, I want to kill the motherfucker for killing my parents. Like, no problem. But then she can't do it. And then Ben shows up and it's like, I'm going to siphon this off of you. So there's like three different things going on with Palpatine and his machinations. So that's a little confusing when you analyze it. I think it moves so quickly. I don't know if you agree with this, Mike. I think the movie moves so quickly that it doesn't leave you much time to question what's going on until you watch it, say, a second time like we just did, or a third time, or whatever it takes you. The first time, you're just like, it's all like first thrown in your face.
It was moving so fast that when I watched it this time, even was sitting there with my notebook and taking notes, so we had stuff to talk about, or things that I won't forget about, or we know what's going on that I caught that I didn't catch the first time, and just things in the background and pictures. And, I don't know if it's because it was the IMAX, the bigger screen or whatever, but it was just, there was so much information like that my brain was trying to download that I was having, a problem doing it.
Even for the second time.
Yeah. And it's still, and I knew it was coming, and I knew like the perfect thing. We walked out, we left the theater in Midtown, or, whatever, 70th Street. And we really didn't talk anything about this movie because we wanted to save it all for here.
Yeah.
And but the one thing we did say was like, did you notice Williams in there? And
John Williams made a little cameo as a bartender. Had a little thing on his eye.
Yeah, I mean, so his
Kid Jimmy, the Snow Planet.
He was half hidden in his face or whatever.
Yeah.
So it wasn't totally obvious, but I knew about it. I knew that he was in it, and I knew that half of his face was hidden. But that's the only thing I knew.
Did you know that Wedge was in it?
I did.
Yeah, I heard a rumor. So
for 1 second.
Yeah, it's a quick little bit. It's like Rogue One when they added Red Leader and Gold Leader for like 2 seconds from the outtakes from A New Hope. It's just like a quick little bit, but it's cool. Especially because Wedge is like Ewan McGregor's uncle. Is it? There's a family history between Wedge and Ewan.
He's his uncle.
Yeah, Dennis Lawson is Wedge. So that was cool. I mean, especially there's an Obi-Wan series coming up in about 2 years. They're filming it in like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Hey,
we're veering off course.
Yeah,
from the Rise of Skywalker. I want to bring in more Last Jedi to this, and it's gonna make everyone angry.
All right. Rez or Kilo, you want to hop on here and chat with us, or you want to just stay? You want to be in the stream, or you want to just stay on the side?
Come on in.
Trevor. All right, you can. We're going tomorrow night. I might have a packed house. 8:30 as usual on Monday. We're just doing this really quick to talk about it because that's what you do with Star Wars, I guess. But yeah, Kilo or Rez, you want to hop on here? Just let me know. Rez won't. He's scared of his face on camera. But okay, now that we got off that tangent. So yeah, we saw a Star Wars movie today.
We did. We saw the last of this trilogy and the last of the Skywalker saga.
How can you say that?
I can't definitively because we might be 60 years old or so in 20 some odd years.
So here's
got an episode.
Here's
10.
Here's something.
Yeah. It's Disney.
What if?
Yes.
Now, Rey buries the lightsabers.
Yes.
And that is supposed to be, for what reason were they buried? If she wanted to get rid of them to be destroyed as a ceremonial thing, why wouldn't she burn them or set them on fire like she did with, like she was going to do with the lightsaber when she was on Ahch-To?
Well, I think that the homestead has been empty since the first original Star Wars, since Episode 4, and Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru were killed, and it's basically been deserted. And you can see the sand. Like when she gets down to the actual homestead, Rise is Skywalker, but the sand is it's been deserted for a while, and so therefore, for her to bury those things there, is it's symbolic. It's it clearly leads to the reason why the movie is called what it's called and why Rey calls herself Rey Skywalker at the end. I thought that was fine. People had a problem with Leia's saber being buried there because that was Luke's homestead with Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. Why was Leia's? Well, fucking Alderaan was blown up, asshole. Where are you gonna put Leia's lightsaber? Alderaan's gone. You're not gonna put it in Alderaan. You could have put it in Naboo, I guess, but that would be a stretch. So I thought it was fitting that they used Luke's homestead, and Luke and Leia are siblings, and I thought it was just a very symbolic thing. I mean, a lot of this is symbolic, right? So burying the lightsabers of Luke and Leia at the homestead is symbolic of the entire arc from Episode 4 to 9. Also symbolic in a different way, which is a fuck you to Rian Johnson, was forging Kylo's helmet, which in The Last Jedi was destroyed when Kylo's punching the wall and is destroyed. And I thought that was very emblematic of what JJ was trying to do with this in the response from the fan community to Last Jedi. The helmet is actually Kylo's helmet is a symbolic version of the macro sense of JJ trying to kind of go back on what Ryan did with The Last Jedi. The helmet is totally that. And there's even a funny scene where they acknowledge it, where Hux is like, yeah, like the helmet, Kylo's like, I see my new helmet is making you uncomfortable. I'm not quoting this directly, but something to that effect. And I felt like that was a very meta moment from JJ to Ryan, So a lot of this is like kind of.
I mean, I just think that, why did they wait 1 year to fix it when you have, the only thing you're waiting for is, Snoke's dead. He's not the leader. Why did they wait 1 year just to put it in the movie and show us what happened?
In between.
I mean, is it just because then he had it laying around? So, all right, it's just laying around. Why is it laying around? And then he waits for Palpatine to say, okay, you're the new leader. Act like a fucking leader and put a helmet on. I mean, no, that's stupid. So, it doesn't make any sense.
If it started the movie with him having his helmet already assembled and there was no explanation of him reassembling the helmet, and it was just there with the little, red kind of lines there, that would be one thing. But the fact that he does it on camera is kind of a fuck you to Rian Johnson, in my opinion.
Okay, we'll give you that. I just think it was, I just don't understand why did the only reason he fixed the helmet was because Palpatine told him you're now the leader, and then if it was, why did he have it laying around for a year?
I didn't get that.
If you have a helmet that you wear and it breaks and you smash it,
you're gonna fix it if you want it,
or you're gonna throw it out.
Or you're gonna throw it out if you don't want it.
Why did you save it?
Why'd you do it now?
I mean, that's really what I want to know. Why was it? And if it was for that, why was it just laying around for a year?
Because it's strictly for the screen. It's strictly for the audience to be like, hey, we're putting together what has been torn apart by the last movie. And
you also have the so everything that was on there, or the cracks or the breaks, were put together with red, whatever, we don't know what it is. There was a lot of talk and discussion on why they decided to use red and this and that, and everybody went into the. When I say everybody, I mean some people, because if you actually pay attention, everybody is singular in the English vernacular, but
the fan base,
that's besides the point. So, when I say everybody, I mean the people
of the fan base,
everyone that complained about it. But
yeah,
so you have the people that tried to figure out, what's it going to symbolize in the movie, and what does it really mean, and what is it going to have to do? And for me, it was nothing. Everyone went with the.
I think about it symbolically.
The old Asian or the Chinese, whatever it was, when you break a vase or a vase or whatever, pottery, whatever thing, and you put it together, you use whatever compound it is that they used to put together as red, and you celebrate the cracks because it's now been.
That's interesting. I didn't consider that.
Whatever, but that really didn't have. I don't think that had anything to do with it in the movie. It just happened to be that because he's a Sith now, and red looks cool.
Red does look cool, and it's associated with evil and the Sith, red lights, etc. It's, but I don't know. I thought a lot of things were retcons from Rian Johnson's film, and I thought that the helmet was one thing that was symbolically that. I thought Rey's lineage was another thing that was that.
That one I give you.
I mean, the helmet's maybe more of a stretch. The more obvious thing is Rey's heritage. But
what about the lightsaber when he throws the lightsaber? Have some popcorn, please.
Yes, please.
Here. What about the
IMAX popcorn?
Yeah, dude, IMAX popcorn. It's the best. So what about the lightsaber? They make an obvious call or reference to that when I can look it up in my book if I need to get the exact thing. But basically, Luke says, you need to respect the lightsaber. You shouldn't treat it like that and throw it away.
Oh, that reminds me.
So was that a fuck you jab, or was that like a
Do you
joke?
know what the fuck you jab was? Luke saying I was wrong. That was a fuck you to Rian Johnson's depiction of Luke. For Luke's ghost to be like, yeah, I was wrong. That was the most obvious retcon of the character.
But Luke admits that he's pretty much wrong in the Last Jedi, because he turns around and there's the spot that's missing, that a deleted scene, which I don't fucking know why they had the deleted scenes that they had, because
with the party
it explains so much about the movie. Well, no, he was on his way to go to Rey and say, hey, listen, I was wrong. I changed my mind. I'm going to help you. I'm going to train you. And, whatever it was, or something like that. I forget exactly what it was. I mean, I haven't watched it in a while, but you guys should probably understand what I'm saying if you've seen it. And he gets there, and all of a sudden he sees the Force touch, the hand sex. And that's when he loses his shit and blows out the wall. And she bounces, and now he's left no way to get there.
Hand sex.
If he can lift, if he can lift the X-wing now as
and I
ghost,
thought that was
why didn't he lift the X-wing as a person?
Because he was demoralized as a person, and when he died, he had a different perspective. When you die and you're on the other side, you have a different perspective than when you're living. If you believe in blood, well, let's just go with the spirit thing for a second. Obi-Wan said he was wrong in Return of the Jedi. He said, I thought I could train Anakin as well as Yoda trained me. I was wrong. And actually, this is the Return of the Jedi of this trilogy. And Luke says, I was wrong. So in a sense, that fits in the...
But in the last movie, you also have Yoda hit him in the fucking head saying, listen, stupid, you need to pay attention and teach from your mistakes. So...
And that's what prompted Luke to do the projection thing and
exactly. So
sacrificing himself without actually fighting.
We already know Luke learned from his mistakes.
He's
just stating it in here.
That's true.
I don't think that I was wrong thing was really a jab.
No.
I think the lightsaber thing was probably a jab. Which I mean, it happens pretty much at the same time, but I think it was just talking about the way I acted, and I was wrong. I should have been a hermit. I should have got out there and I should have fought, but I didn't. But it's the way of the Jedi. I mean, I posted a meme the other day, and some people got pissed off because Obi-Wan goes and hides, and Yoda goes and hides,
and Luke goes and hides.
Luke goes and hides. So I mean, it's the way of the Jedi to run away,
and meditate and be in their own little meditative world.
That's why we don't have any more Jedi, because she was the last. Well, she was the last Jedi, and supposedly there were going to be a lot more Jedi. And once again, she's the only Jedi. But
although, according to Rian Johnson, the Last Jedi, despite at the end refers to Rey, actually refers to Luke, and that's his arc. It was supposed to be his movie. Han's movie was The Force Awakens, and the last one, The Rise of Skywalker, was supposed to be Leia's movie.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, and we can get into Leia for a second. I like the way they handled Leia, despite what they had left from these deleted scenes. I thought they did the best that they could, and it did fit into the story. And yes, some things were awkward. Specifically, there were shots of Leia where she just had nothing to say, and it was like the other character speaking, Rey, I guess in this case, speaking to Leia, and Leia was just like, because, there were no lines to salvage, so you had to work with what you had, and I get that, But in terms of the way they handled Leia's character, what did you think, Mike?
I thought they did really well with it. The only thing that was a little bit wonky was when they show her and Luke fighting. Her face looked a little bit off.
His looked great.
He was perfect. Hers,
just like they fucked up her face in Rogue One, and fucking Tarkin looked excellent.
Yeah.
What the? She's on the screen for like 2 seconds in Rogue One. Tarkin's on screen for like a lot of scenes, and he looks like a fucking ghost come to life. And the 3 seconds or 2 seconds that they had Leia on screen, and she was still alive. Carrie was still alive when they did Rogue One. Looked totally fake. So I agree. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean that's just nitpicking thing. Like I thought the movie.
I know we're nitpicking.
I mean, I thought the movie was great.
I did. I mean, I loved it.
I'm probably gonna go see it again tomorrow before I do my real life chat where I talk about Star Wars. This was kind of an impromptu thing where we went and saw it. And I said, hey, I'm going to grab my fucking computer and we'll just talk about it because he's a prima donna. He needs to be on camera as much as possible. So that's pretty much what it came down to is he wouldn't go with me unless I agreed to do this with him.
Hi.
So what were we talking about? I forgot. Oh, yeah, Leia.
Leia. We were talking about Leia.
Okay, here you go. When did Leia die?
When did Leia die?
Mm-hmm.
Leia died approximately at the moment that Kylo became Ben. And she only faded away when he sacrificed himself and faded away into the Force. But she actually died, I think. They put her body on a slab and everything when Kylo had his epiphany. And I liked how they did this with Harrison, actually, because
Harrison's another story. Let's finish Leia. We'll move on to Harrison next.
Okay.
If we go, Rez, if we go on a big tangent, bring us back to Harrison after this.
Call us back.
Yeah, they usually have to bring me back because I go off on my fucking things. I have no idea where I am.
Just hashtag Indiana Jones, and we'll get back to Harrison.
So now Leia, I heard a theory. What if Rey stabs Ben or stabs Kylo?
Yeah.
And he dies.
Okay.
But Leia was doing her force projection, which I don't understand why she died from a force projection that was so quick and just using audio, not visual, so that it's like a different level. And this isn't my theory. This is something I read or heard or whatever. So Ben dies.
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah.
Leia doing the force projection thing keeps him alive the entire time with force healing.
Yeah.
So, but he's dead. Leia, that's why Leia's sheet's still there. Because she's not dead.
She's not. She actually hasn't passed on.
She's not dead. She's alive. She's doing her force projection. And her force projection is keeping her son alive.
But why
then the whole thing goes, and then when he, the rest of the movie goes on, and then he saves Rey.
Yes.
It's actually Leia who keeping Ben alive
through him.
Yeah, through him, giving him the power
to heal her.
To heal him. To heal her. And then Rey. once that's done, all of Leia's power is gone. Ben's already dead.
She can rest.
So she can rest. Yeah. So he's dead, but she's keeping him alive through the force spirit power thing or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, she can't do the force power thing anymore because all of her power got used up healing Ben or healing Rey
through him. Ben.
So she's done. So when all her power is gone, Ben's power is gone because he's already dead. She's just, basically like it's like a Muppet. She's got.
I think like she inspired the good part of Ben, right? So,
and I love Ben Solo. That was a great fucking.
I loved his arc, and I've always loved Adam Driver's acting in all of this. I'm going to make a controversial statement. He is the Anakin we always wanted. Instead of Hayden Christensen, we wanted an actor more like Adam Driver to play Anakin, and let's be honest, we did. We wanted someone who was a better actor. Maybe deserved better lines. I'm not going to get into that right now, but I think Adam Driver did an excellent arc throughout this trilogy, and it was very satisfying to see Adam play Kylo / Ben and do this arc throughout the 3 films. I was really happy with that.
Bruce, Jedi Son, I think that was great that Rey was the master, and she was taught by Luke, and then she was passed it on, which is a great part making it her movie. Bruce Wayne, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Bruce.
But he says that the old woman should have had Sith eyes after Rey says I'm a Skywalker.
She was a little weird. I didn't notice the Sith eyes, but
no, he didn't say that she had Sith eyes.
Oh.
He's saying that they should have done that, and I think that just that makes the entire movie irrelevant because the Sith have been killed.
Right, and then it would be like living on, and then you can't end the 3 trilogy thing.
Yeah,
it's not going to make sense. But I thought that character was a little odd, a little off, just because she comes out of nowhere. Because like it's completely empty when Rey gets there, and there's like no one around, and all of a sudden here's this old woman. And you're like, oh, okay, this is clearly for.
But that would have been like some Scooby Doo shit, or like she passed on.
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling Sith.
I would not have liked that if that would have happened. That would have been one of the things that we are complaining about.
Yeah.
And then we hear the laugh of Palpatine. Yeah, I think that's just going on. This is supposed to end. That Rey would have Sith eyes. Yeah, that
would have been cool.
No, it wouldn't have.
I don't know. I mean, it would have been a cliffhanger with no ending. In a sense, it would have been more ambiguous, and that's what The Last Jedi was. It was ambiguous. And this was anything but ambiguous, and Force Awakens was not ambiguous. It was very straightforward, evil and good, and that was it. And Last Jedi, for me, introduced some ambiguity.
So Bruce Wayne, why would you want to see that? Like, what would the point be of doing that? Just as a cliffhanger, or I mean, I don't think this is the end. Like you were saying, it's the end. This isn't the end of the saga.
Well, no, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy has already said. Like,
she already said there's not going to be. They already said there's not going to be trilogies, and she said there might be. She said they might go back to it. So,
I mean, Oscar Isaac's already been doing the voice of Poe Dameron on Resistance, and there could be other television shows or anything focusing on either Finn or Poe or Rey, maybe. I mean, it remains to be seen. It's fucking Disney, and they can do whatever they want with the franchise as long as they find it profitable. But yeah, maybe. I don't know. Does it have to be the end of the story? It doesn't have to be the end of the story. I have to get another beer. Take over.
Okay.
You take over?
Yeah, dude. I got it. I'm used to it.
I'll jump back in.
I'm used to playing with myself.
Play with yourself.
Yeah, I'm used to playing with myself and having these guys watch.
I'll be right back.
So
tell the community I love them.
Take your empties so the bartender doesn't have to clean up after you, or not. So I mean, I just don't think that. Once again, we've had this conversation on here. RFB isn't here for me to argue with about it, but. I gotta find that now. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I don't think that. I'm trying to. It's telling me I missed something. What am I doing? All right, you should be good on that, sir. Just sent it. I don't even remember what I was saying now. I don't think this is over. I really don't. And for them to say it's the end of the saga, they're going to give us more, and they're going to give us. They're going to fill us in with books and with comics, and it's going to go on. I'm going to wait for him to get back because we didn't even talk about. Well, we started talking about, but I don't even know how the hell we ended up somewhere else. The Rey burying the shit. But yeah, anyway, so it's not done. They're going to go on. We'll talk about that in a second. The other thing, let's see. I didn't like the Palpatine thing. He didn't mind it. I just think it took away, like he was saying, it was a fuck you retcon. I'm not saying it's a fuck you retcon. I think it takes away because, maybe it is. And I don't even know if it's intentional or not, because look at Broom Boy. Broom Boy is gone now because it's supposed to show you that you can be anybody. Anybody can do stuff in their life. They don't have to be anybody special. And, we see how that goes. Can you see my breath on here? You know, and then making her Palpatine, or you know, I don't know. I just didn't like that. And then I think we talked about it really quick while he was gone. The other thing I didn't like was the kiss. I think that was completely unnecessary. I think that kiss was complete Reylo fan service. The only reason they put it in there was to make the Reylos happy. And what the fuck did it do? The Reylos aren't happy because now, see, like once again, when I say all of them or everybody, if you look at singular, you know, those Reylos are fucking crazy. They're all crazy. You know, they're giving away spoilers. They're going nuts because he should have lived, and you know, the kiss wasn't done right, and it was this, that, whatever. It's like, fuck you, dude. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna give away spoilers because I didn't like it, but you know, whatever. So, but they decided to give away and do whatever. That's, anyways. I'm not gonna talk about Reylo, how it's the new Fandom Menace. You know, I got in a conversation with somebody from the Fandom Menace the other day, and they're like, "Well, we're not all bad." Well, you know what? Your leaders of your group, or the people that claim to be the leaders of your group, are, and you know, you need to distance yourself and come up with another fucking name and bring your group over and stop calling yourself that. You know, I mean, it's like, well, you know, I'm a Nazi, but I don't agree with what my leaders say. So call me a Nazi, but I don't believe in the shit they say. It's the same fucking shit with the Reylos going. I was just saying.
Oh, I just walked in on an interesting part where Michael says he's a Nazi.
Oh, I was just correlating, like, you know, the Phantom Menace, and now like the Reylos. The Reylos are going crazy because we talked about the kiss. And,
the kiss, yeah.
I know you didn't like it, but now I think.
What did you think of the kiss?
Well, it was. You were gone. You were getting your fucking.
No. Well, just
it was
recap.
Just complete fan service, and only for select few. But it all it did is it enraged them because, yes, all right, you gave him a kiss, but you killed him off. So how could you kill him off, let him kiss, then kill him off? And you know, and they should be together and blah blah. So basically they said, hey, you know what? We're gonna throw you a bone, and the dog fucking goes, that's my bone. It's not big enough. I'm gonna bite you now. You son of a bitch.
You gave me a boner, and then you walked away.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I didn't walk away. You walked away. You went to go get another beer.
Well, I did walk away actually.
With the boner, which is probably kind of weird.
I'm sure I'm giving the listeners a boner right now.
The anti-boner.
Yeah, right.
They should fucking have you talk to fucking pedophiles in jail because they don't even need sex surgery then, or fucking chemical castration. They just listen to you and you're fucking.
No comment. Well, yes. Was it fan service? It absolutely was.
But it was. But most.
In my first screening of it, actually, when he kissed her and everyone's like, ah, and then he faded away, there was one person in the theater that were like, oh, what the fuck? It was hilarious.
That was some Reylo. I mean,
it was some letdown Reylo shit.
When you I mean, I'm a Star Wars fan and people know I'm a Star Wars fan, but I don't go around telling people, you know, well, I mean, I do tell people I'm a Star Wars fan, I just speak, but that's different. But that's not part of my identity. You know, like they've made. And Mr. Ez has blocked us now, I think.
Sorry, Mr. Ez.
But yeah, so it's like they're, you know, like they put in their Twitter handles, they put the spoilers in there. So like you can't even, it's not like you pop it up like right now. So let's see, I go over here. Like I go over here and I go, okay, let's see what's going on in Twitter. Okay, we have
a Captain Phasma thing.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool. Jen Bartel did a Captain Phasma picture.
That's a pretty cool picture.
Yeah, I know, I saw that. But we have, you know, Daniel Kennedy.
Oh yeah, my dad's reaction to the Reylo and Ben part.
You know, it's like, so, but I mean, you go and it's like, so if like Lacey put, you know, Reza Palpatine, that's her name. So it doesn't matter if you're looking at the content, you see it right there.
It's automatically spoiled.
Yeah. And that's what they were doing because, you know, because they're fucking stupid. I was going to say some other bad words, but we'll just say not nice people.
They're spoiler hounds. They're fuckheads.
Yeah. See you next Tuesday.
See you next
fucking bitch.
Cheers, motherfuckers.
So anyways, I don't like to let go of my tirades because it happens a little bit too much sometimes, but yeah, it's like, you know, I said, are the Reylos happy? I put it on.
I think the Reylos are mostly happy.
No, because it wasn't. They wanted Bendemption. but they wanted redemption. They didn't want him
But
to
he
die.
did get redemption.
But he died. So
but dying is the redemption.
But they didn't want that.
That's the Vader redemption. It's the fucking mythological redemption. What don't you understand about the evil person gone good? They have to sacrifice themselves in order to rectify what they did. That is just classic mythology. That's what George Lucas was steeped in, and Joseph Campbell, and Aldous Huxley's perennial philosophy. And I could go on. And I don't know how many people are literate here. I'm just kidding. But like,
most of them aren't. That's why they can't read. They have to listen to us.
I'm just saying it's classic mythological tropes. And even if you're not from that school, that's what they did with Vader. The difference is this is not a father-son connection. This is a love connection. That's fucked up. So this is the male-female, kind of love connection redemption versus a father-son connection. But it's the same idea. There's nothing new under the sun with this shit. It's mythology. It's rote basic mythology. Nothing new. So you didn't like it? Fine. I don't know. I don't know if you like The Last Jedi or you hate The Last Jedi or what you thought of The Force Awakens, but I think JJ stuck pretty close to the mythological script and what he had to do for the wrapping up of the story. Like it or hate it, or
I just think, I am not anything. Well, that's the whole thing. They gave them fan service, and they weren't happy with the fan service they got. So it's like, anyways, let's not talk. There's no reason to sit here and bash Raylos because they have enough fucking problems.
Yeah,
mentally.
We could just talk about
once again, not all of them. That's a blanket statement. It wasn't a blanket statement. It just, there's a lot of normal Raylos out there. The girls with sabers, they're normal Raylos. They're not. They're not happy with what happened.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
I was trying to get in there. I'm cracking up. You guys are cracking me up tonight.
All right. Hey.
Cheers.
So Raylos, kiss my ass, you weak ass bastards. The movie is great.
I like to keep it positive, and I don't want to go bash them.
I know. Okay, I'm sorry. I do apologize. It was a little quick. But
it wasn't intentional. It was, just whatever. So
it wasn't an attack. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to come out that way. It just jumped in. It's like, oh my God, I'm in here. You guys are cracking me up. Great video so far. I've been listening in to you guys while I was doing laundry, and I had to let my phone charge a little bit. The end of the movie, I think it was. I want to touch back on Mr. Bruce Wayne, Batman. Hey, I kind of think I would have liked to seen what he said as well. I think that would have been a good way to end that with her, because I'm thinking, I mean, I could be wrong. More than likely, I might be wrong. Here, let me take some of this sip here. A little bit more brain power there. Did Palpatine possess her when she killed him, like he was wanting to?
Nope.
You don't think so?
No.
I think her instincts took over. That whatever her dark side Palpatine instincts were took over. She was so angry. The thing that caused her anger was that Kylo destroyed the way to find her grandfather, and she wanted to find that motherfucker and kill him. And when Kylo destroyed that, she was like, "Fuck you, bastard!" And like, this was the key to me finding out my history, my past, and taking this fucker out. And she was so angry at him that it brought her to the point where she actually almost killed him. Like, if not for healing him, I think that her anger in that moment was like, you're cutting me off from my past, and you're cutting me off from the chance for me to get redemption or revenge on my parents being killed, my fucked up grandpa. I think that's why she went that dark. Is it inherent in her nature?
Look at that baby.
Possibly.
Sorry,
It's a child with Chewbacca. It's very cute. Anyway, is that in her nature? Like, obviously, genetically, you can make the case. I think why she went that far is because he crushed the fucking Wayfinder. He's like, sorry. And she was like, fuck you.
Yeah, she's like, that's a dick move. But I mean, it's here or there. I kind of was I mean, I'm gonna go see it again tomorrow because I'm taking my daughter to see it. Because I have to watch it again because I'm sure there's a lot that I have missed, and I'll be able to pick up on the things that I might have missed because I was like, oh my god, holy shit, that was awesome. Now I know that part's coming, so I can be like, I can chill and I can pay more attention to everything else. I mean, I always go see every Star Wars movie twice. I mean, I have to so I can comprehend it because I don't want to wait 4 months for the DVD or the Blu-ray to come out. But I mean, I was just thinking, along with what Bruce had said in the chat, that was my impression. There was, he's like, strike me down, and then I can possess into you, and continue to go on. So, and in essence, the way that I see it was she did exactly what he wanted her to do, took him out, and at the same time, without us even seeing, he could have transferred his essence into her. She might have went back to try to revive Kylo, so then this way, Palpatine's in Rey, but then also Palpatine needs his rule of two since he's still a Sith. She tried to go revive him, and she couldn't do it. So therefore, I mean, it ended there. But yeah, I mean, that would have been kind of like a little twist and kind of cool to see that when she spoke to that old lady. I mean, I like his view on that. I really do. As if she would have like smiled at her and like she had the Sith eyes for a second, and then then it panned off to the two sons and ended out. I dig that. That's a cool ass ending, I think.
I mean, that's a good ending for a horror movie where someone's possessed or the ghosts or the demons come, and then,
or a continuation.
Yeah, that
to an episode 10.
But there is no, according to them, there is no episode.
There is no
10,
episode 10.
Which there's going to be,
so
but that's
but
I mean, I
just be old.
I just think the whole eye thing is, I just wouldn't like it because what does it prove? What does it have to do with? I mean, that's just like when you're watching. I'm just going to say like The Conjuring or Annabelle, and I don't know which one it is, but then all of a sudden at the end of it, right, the last thing you see is the doll's eyes move or they blink. Or
dude,
whatever. It's the same thing.
It's the Thriller video by Michael Jackson where like he goes evil and then he's good at the end. He's like, "Hey, baby," and then he looks up to the camera and he's got the yellow eyes, like, ha, ha, ha. Like it's a fucking Thriller video.
Yeah,
it's a Thriller video.
That would just piss me off. Oh, but anyway, so going back to, I think we talked about this, way before. But so, when Rey buries the lightsabers, now they're there to be found by someone else.
The Mandalorian.
If she wanted them, if she was even as if it wanted to be like an homage to them or whatever, she could have built a power fire and burned them that way, like she was planning on doing with her one that she was going to get rid of.
It'd be very Owen and Beru, wouldn't it?
But that's not where I was going with it. But
all right.
Now they're there. Check this out. All right. Now they're there for her son or daughter to find, because when Kylo was bringing her back to life, he had his hand down by her lady parts and he gave her essence. And while he was giving her essence of the Force, impregnated her. So now Rey is pregnant and is going to have a child, and it's easily can do in 5 years, episode 10, when they want to, and have it fast forward 15 years or 20 years for Rey's child to find them. And,
he did have his hand on her stomach or her womb. Like that is actually, that would be plausible.
Right.
Yeah. Indiana Jones. This kind of goes back into Indiana Jones.
Oh, dude, there's tons of Indiana Jones in The Rise of Skywalker.
Well, we got Mr. S's
Chewie and Marion. Chewie and Marion. That's all I'm going to say. Raiders, where you think Marion's dead and she's not dead, and Chewie, That's some fucking Raider
Oh,
shit.
Chewie, I knew right away. The guy I was sitting next to when I was at the theater with my peoples on the first viewing. As soon as it happened, I don't know if I should have said anything or not, but as soon as it blew up, I turned to him. I was like, "Dude, there was 2 ships." That's the first thing I said. And he was like, "Yeah, you're right," or whatever. So
Yeah.
I knew like right away. It was like, I mean, as soon as it happened, like that split second, I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I was like, 2 ships. Okay.
And then the trailer sold 3PO so hard as being like he's never getting his memory back. This is forever.
But there's the Rey's pregnant and she has a child now through the Force. And we actually find out that Anakin was a virgin birth through the Force, that Palpatine didn't have anything to do with it because that has been talked about. And Matt Martin will always say that Palpatine did not have anything to do with Anakin being born. That was not him.
Isn't that proven now throughout the
It's proven that he tried to
books and comics and shit.
It's proven that he didn't do it. It's proven that it's proven that he tried to.
Oh,
and was trying to manipulate the midichlorians.
So it is Jesus.
Kind of. They're kind of
Space Jesus, Obi-Wan.
Space Jesus.
That's Obi-Wan.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, I don't think Obi-Wan.
Coming to you at Disney Plus.
So yeah, I mean,
it's Obi Jesus.
You know, I mean, there was something in a comic book about how it never says he created him. It's one of those things. Assholes fucking run with shit, and it's like, wait a second, it might happen. Okay, since it might happen, it's now true in canon, and now I can talk about it and make a video about it and make a lot of money. And I mean, if I just made bullshit and talked and fucking hated everything, I'd probably be able to make some money too. But I'd rather just talk to you assholes and have a fun day than. I mean, it's nice to be rich, but
I don't know you assholes, but so far it's great.
And once again, assholes, all you assholes is singular, so it only goes out to
I'm one of them.
It only goes out to the ones that it's meant to.
Hey, I'm a big asshole. I'm just not a hurt one. It doesn't hurt.
I'm the asshole that defends The Last Jedi.
There's always gonna be an asshole about that. You're a smart person. But we're not going to get into that conversation.
No, we're not. It's not this conversation.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow.
If you get me drunk again, maybe.
Tomorrow there's quite a few people that might be stopping by, depending on their schedule. Which means it could be 10 people stopping by, and I have a full house and need to kick people out. Or it could be me and you and RFB again, and that's it. Because it's just the way it goes.
Hey, if I got to take a back seat to somebody else to jump in for a while, that's when I'll take a break to run around and do some stuff around the house. I got to do while I listen. It ain't no big deal if I have to get bumped for a bit.
So, anyways, let's see. To go back to,
wait, before we get back fully on track, did you want me to go and get that Watto for you?
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
Check how much is the shipping on that?
Probably like $5-6, I think, from here.
Like I think I can find it for. See, that's the whole thing. Like if you look on eBay, a lot of them say Celebration exclusive, but when they mail it to you, it's the fucking shared exclusive from Walmart or whatever. Because it was, but so like even if the picture of it has the sticker on it, they're showing
that is the legit one. I've seen it. I had to call the guy back and tell him to hold it. It is the legit Celebration one, or I wouldn't even have sent you the picture.
Yeah, then
I'll double checking.
Let me know, and I'll Venmo you the money tomorrow.
Okay.
Or whatever. Yeah,
because I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna go out right after Christmas because he's closed until I think Thursday. So he says he's holding it for me.
I can send you 2 of these $10 posters, and we'll call it even.
Wait for the flashlight.
Oh, you already saw them.
Oh, damn it!
One for you, one for your daughter. Perfect. Right. There we go.
All right. Yeah, that's fine with me.
No, dude, they were free. I asked her for extras because I knew people would want them. So I'll send you a couple anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that was. I saw that. I looked on eBay, and then it was like $18 or $20. But I'd rather just, if you know it's legit, I'd rather have you send it to me and pay a couple extra dollars than have to worry about. That's what happened to me before, and then I had to send it back, and then it's like, oh well, it says in there. I was like, yeah, it says Celebration exclusive. And
Right.
then you sent me the Walgreens version. So there's a big difference. One what I wanted to be at, but couldn't wait 12 hours in line for a fucking toy that's worth $6. But yeah. So all right. So yeah. I'll talk to you tomorrow about that, or later on, whatever.
Yep. I got you though.
Okay. So yeah. So I think that's a great way to play into the episode 10, and they can do it in 5 years. And bring back all the actors for quick little things, pay them $20-30 million, and they have to work for 2 or 3 weeks, because now we have the new kids in town,
right?
And they make it 15 or 20 years in the future, so the kid's 19 years old, the same age as everybody that comes except for Anakin when we meet him, the same age as Luke, the same age as Rey. Now you have Rey's kid. And for whatever it is.
And think about it this way. Until Disney bought Lucasfilm, the sequel trilogy was never going to happen, according to George.
Nope,
he was like, when he was done with episode 3, he was like, no, there's no fucking Luke, Leia, or Han shit. No, fuck that shit. And that's what Disney's doing right now with Rey, Finn, Poe, etc. Like, no, there's nothing going on. Like, wait, TikTok, like 15 years. And I'm sure Disney will gather together something when we're all old men and impotent. Anyway, so,
Wait,
it's good. What?
Does that mean I'm going to win?
No.
Okay.
Get Viagra.
Okay.
Anyway, but like, they'll do that shit. They'll fucking do that shit. They did this shit this time with our childhood. They'll do it again. I don't doubt Disney.
Yeah, I mean, in '83, it was over. We weren't getting any more Star Wars. And then in 2005, it was over. We're not getting any more Star Wars. And then in 2019, it's over. We're not getting any more Star Wars.
Right.
I don't think, we're going to have to wait 20 years like the first one and then 10 years like this one. I think
it's be 5.
It's going to be a few years, and it doesn't have to be the new squad out on their thing. It's going to be a new squad. So, your big three, Daisy.
Rey's going to be an old lady. Finn's going to be an old man. Poe's going to be an old man. They'll all fucking throw shit together.
Wait. Speaking about old man, I'm sorry, Mike. I got a question.
Yeah.
If they reboot this, which they probably will, because Disney's going to want to rehatch and dig a new gold mine.
Yeah.
Since the end there, where Lando was talking to, what was her name?
Jana.
Yeah. Do you think they might touch on that and actually confirm that if he's?
That's a great question.
I think these are all.
Can I answer that?
No.
Yeah.
I think these are all. I think these are all standalone movies that they can do with Jana finding out that Lando's her father. And
no, fuck this shit. Jedi Pax's Reddit leaks, the original leaks that came out when those of us that like to be spoiled, like myself, because I'm an impatient fuck, they said Lando originally was supposed to be Jana's father, and they were separated, and he stayed on Pisana on that desert planet because she got stolen by the First Order as a child and was put into the whole stormtrooper thing like Finn.
I just said it's a standalone movie showing how he's the father, because it even says it in the visual dictionary.
I said it better.
But it took you even longer, and I talked for.
Well, it sounded better. There's more detail.
Oh my god!
And it was a leak, and it was a fucking leak.
I mean, so we got Jana.
Jedi Pax.
We got Jana as a one-off. I go with Mr. Jason Ward of Making Star Wars because he is a wonderful person.
I love Making Star Wars personally. I love StarWarsNewsNet.com. That's also a great resource.
Don't forget about who else you love.
You.
Yes.
Toomedtoo.
Toomedtoo. Oh, but he's a wonderful person, I heard.
Hey.
Stop that.
But no, there was supposed to be a
These
Lando
good people.
storyline about how she was related to Lando.
Well, there is I only looked at a few pages of the visual dictionary because I haven't had time to do it because, there's life. I like to be rich and just be able to Star Wars all the time or whatever. But I'd probably be single then. But
I still maintain accents. Why the accents? So if Jana has a British accent and Lando has an American accent, doesn't make sense. Although Palpatine, British accent, Rey, British accent, makes sense. I'm talking about accents.
Because normally accents are for the rich people or well-to-do people that have the accents.
And she was a scavenger.
So why does a scavenger have an accent?
British accent?
And why does Jana have an accent? Because she was taken as a child and made into a stormtrooper.
And why does Finn not? Because John Boyega actually is British and has a British accent, but he has an American accent. Okay, we're not.
John Boyega is not British.
He is British.
He's Nigerian.
Shit! But he has a British accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a British accent, but he has a damn good English or American accent too.
He does a great American accent. I will say that definitely.
So, who does a great British or great American accent? James Bond in the Knife movie. That was just.
I thought it was Scottish. Isn't Sean Connery Scottish?
No, not Sean Connery. Daniel Craig.
Oh, anything beyond Sean Connery doesn't matter.
Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig was in Knives Out, and he does a great Southern accent.
I kid the James Bonds. I kid.
Yeah. We might have a few of those in here.
Ray got knocked up without any hoo-hoo action because he gave her force babies. Which
that's what my ex tried to tell me.
It was an immaculate conception, like Anakin. Oh God, Jesus midichlorians. Anyway,
so yeah. So, anyways, to get back to Han, that was Mr. Indiana Jones bringing us back.
Han, yes, I like the Han.
Oh, Lando Chronicles. Mr. S says we should have some Lando Chronicles.
Lando Chronicles?
Yeah, coming off of Solo, and then
okay, yeah. Well, those were the books, right? Those were those old.
Well, no, now they're in Solo. He's doing the Lando Chronicles.
No, I know he's doing it, and he actually references a book, an old book from
the
80s or something.
So we do have the Lando Chronicles. So, anyways, Han. Han was a memory. We know that was Ben fighting with himself,
not a Force ghost.
And when Ben throws the lightsaber, that's when. Kylo was already dead. Kylo Ren was already dead when he threw the lightsaber. When Ben was talking to
Han,
when that character was talking to Han,
he was
that was Ben. He had already been killed. He brought back. He'd been healed. Kylo was dead. He's Ben, but now he doesn't know what to do because Kylo's no more. He's Ben, but even more lost than before because. Now Kylo's gone. He's back, but has nothing to do because I killed my father. All this horrible shit that I've had to do. He's not redeemed yet. He's trying to figure out. And when he's talking with his father's like,
what gives him?
Dude, you're okay.
Yeah.
I forgive you for killing me.
And the dialogue.
You're gonna be okay now.
The dialogue as a tone poem to The Force Awakens, which again, it's J.J. Abrams cleaning up Rian Johnson, but also going back to what J.J. did with Force Awakens. That scene, dialogue-wise, directly references that Han Solo death scene, but he does something different. So literally, the dialogue is the same. And I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. And all of that stuff is a direct Force Awakens reference to that whole scene, but Kylo Ben does something different this time. I actually enjoyed it. As rote as it was, as cliche as it was, I thought it was resonant.
But were you guys thrown off at first? Because when he first said, "Hey, kid," I thought that was Luke's Force Ghost. Because that's at the end of Last Jedi. He goes, "I'll see you around, kid." And I thought that was Luke at first.
Yeah.
I about shit when it's panned and it was Han. I was just like, holy shit! Like in the theater, and everybody's just like, half of them turned around and looked at me, but I didn't know I was that loud. Like, holy shit, and
People
completely thrown off. I lost my damn mind.
Yeah, people lost their shit. It makes sense. I mean, like Harrison. Look, okay, I'm gonna make a terrible statement right now, and some of y'all might agree with me, and some of y'all might not. But I will say this, in my opinion, and a lot of fans and critics agree with me. Harrison was phoning it in on Return of the Jedi. It's the least essential Han Solo performance ever of the now 5 films Harrison has been in. And
Right.
I felt like The Force Awakens was a proper Harrison performance and proper send-off. And this reference, the Rise of Skywalker scene, referenced that. And it was a tone poem in a way. The same way that Lucas tried to say, oh, the prequels mirror the originals and it's a tone poem, la-di-da.
Right.
But, this was an actual tone poem with Ben and the lightsaber and his father and doing something different than he did with Force Awakens, but actually a lot of the same dialogue. I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that scene. I thought it was great, and the fact that he's not a Force ghost but a memory, and that description also makes sense, because what is the difference between one's memory and one's experience of a spirit coming to life as a Jedi? It's in Ben's mind, but it still has the same effect. And
right.
I like that.
I really liked it. It shocked the hell out of me to see Harrison when he turned around. Like, it was the last person. Like, as soon as he said, "Hey, kid," that just triggered me immediately. Hey, look, that's Luke's Force Ghost coming back to finish bringing him back. For his redemption. But then when it panned and it was Han standing there, I was just like, "Holy shit, this is awesome!"
You felt that way? You felt that way?
Yeah, that was. I thought it was really, really awesome the way that they did that. I think it was kind of like a redemption for that, because Han told him, "Yeah, I know," when he's and then Leia had to, I guess, from what I understand, had to die for him to be
redeemed.
Redeemed. Yeah, it's kind of like when Padme died to redeem Anakin.
Yeah, that was lame as shit.
Yeah.
I mean, she died in childbirth out of pain. Like,
No, actually, that was her force. Her life force was stolen to bring Anakin back to make him Darth Vader. That's my belief, and that's what they say. But I mean, that makes sense, because I've watched the movie 100 damn times, and I've sat there and I've replayed that part, and it's almost like people say, at the same moment that she dies, he rises up. And
it was a nice juxtaposition. I mean, in terms of like visually, it was cool. She's dying. He's being recreated as the monster, as the Frankenstein, for example.
Right.
It works. But also, it was a Deus ex machina, which is essentially this film. You have to wrap up certain shit. So you have to wrap up, why does 3PO not remember the prequels? We wiped his mind. You had to do that. How does Yoda teach the Force Ghost thing to Obi-Wan? Well, Qui-Gon got in touch with me, which they fleshed out in the Clone Wars, thank God, and that was a great arc in season 6. But in movies, it's essentially non-existent. It's just a line like, Qui-Gon came back from the dead and taught me how to do this. And you had to do that because it was the end of the story, and it had to lead into the next part. Just like the Rise of Skywalker had to wrap up certain things because it's the end of this trilogy or even the 9-story arc.
Right.
You had to do certain things. You had to get A to B to C in order to make things to make sense, even if they don't. For example, Padme, at the end of episode 3, gives birth to the twins. At the same time, somehow in Return of the Jedi, Leia remembers Padme and fucking Luke doesn't. Why? You're the same age as infants. Why does Leia remember you and Luke doesn't? Doesn't really make sense, but you had to wrap it up. You had to make some kind of end to it. And that's what Rise of Skywalker is. Let me tie up the bow and the ribbon and make you a nice little Christmas present. And here you go. And here's the end of the story. Revenge of the Sith was very much that in terms of the prequels relating to the original story, the original trilogy. You had to do certain things to make it make sense.
Yeah, I mean that's and they tied all those little knots back up pretty nicely too. You know, so it doesn't leave many questions. Although people like us who I just turned 40 a couple days ago.
Me too, a month ago.
Happy birthday!
So
Happy birthday!
I was born, and I was an infant when The Empire Strikes Back came out.
Me too.
So the first one I remember seeing was Return of the Jedi.
I saw Jedi in the theaters a year after it was re-released in '83, and my father took me at 3 years old. I still remember it. So yeah, same as you.
We got to get back to the Han thing.
Okay.
Just to touch on that, Leia, she remembers her mother because of the Force giving her memories, not because she remembers being pushed out and her mom dying. She has memories of her mother, of like who she was, but she really doesn't remember her.
But why does Luke not? Then Luke is the key essential part of the story. Why does Leia remember Padme through the Force and Luke does not? That makes no fucking sense.
Because Yoda didn't want Luke trained as the Jedi. He wanted Leia, but they couldn't do it the way that it works out. Yoda wanted Leia trained, but Luke's put on Tatooine. He's not supposed to be trained as a Jedi. Obi-Wan's just there watching out for him. Leia's off
Alderaan.
On Alderaan and in the political thing. So neither one of them is being trained. And then all of a sudden, oh shit, this stuff just went down. And Obi-Wan's there, and it's like we have to train Luke right now because he's our only shot of doing it. And
there is another.
But that it's like, okay, you want A and B's your backup plan. Well, right now A is not possible, so you need to use your backup plan because it's the immediate thing. That's why Luke is being trained.
In what literature or canon was it expressed that Yoda wanted Leia over Luke? And I may be ignorant because I don't read the comic books and I don't read the novels. I just watch the visual stuff, so I am ignorant in this sense. But where was it stated that Yoda wanted Leia over Luke?
I forget which book it's in. I would actually.
I've heard the same thing. I don't remember reading that, but I've heard somebody else talking about that too.
Yeah, I would have to look it up, and I'll try and find it. I'm actually I'm not going to do it probably tomorrow. I'll do it sometime in the future. So someone's going to have to remind me on that. Unless someone knows, maybe Mr. Rez knows where it is. RFB will probably know. I can ask RFB tomorrow because tomorrow my plan is do whatever my honeydew list is because I'm in a lot of trouble for not getting that honeydew list done.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing laundry right now while I'm on stream with you guys because if I don't, it's my ass in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, well, it's mine already, and then I'm not really in that much trouble, but I was supposed to probably be home. I didn't have a time frame when I was going to be home, but So I'll have to look that up. But my plan is tomorrow is to read the dictionary and then, or the visual guide, read that, go see the movie again, and then I'm doing my normal Monday night live stream that I do. I invited some really good friends of mine to join in. So we'll see what happens. Yeah,
Right.
I'll be right back. Okay. Mike's had too many beers. He's got to go pee. He can't hold his bladder.
Oh, been there of many of times.
So.
Too true. Too true.
Oh, okay. So yeah, here we go. We got the answer. Chris comes in at the perfect time with a big save. It's in from a certain point of view. That it's stated that Leia is supposed to be the one who's going to be trained as the Jedi. Since I have that book and I know where it is, I will find it and we can actually talk about it a little bit more.
Is that a recent one? Like within the last couple of years?
Certain point of view
Yeah.
is it's an amazing book. It's 40 stories, so it was the 40th anniversary.
Okay.
It's 40 stories of a certain point of view of Star Wars.
Okay, so it's within the last couple of years.
They go through the original movie, which is now called The New Hope, and they go through that movie pretty much scene by scene, but they do it with characters that are side characters or not really, that important or do whatever. And it's their point of view. It's a certain point of view. Their point of view of what happened. So what we see in the movie, the one is to start off, or one of the first ones is one of the. I'm trying to think of the story. I'm trying to think of one of the radar detectors, or the guy that's supposed to be doing catching the escape pods or whatever, and he fucks up. So it's his point of view of what happens, and goes into how he got the job and blackmailing whoever it was supposed to be, because he's going to get caught once they figure out the computer and blah blah blah. However it actually worked out. The other really good one that's amazing is on the Sandcrawler. How R2-D2 knows he needs to be taken, and he sabotages the other astromech so that he is going to not be picked, and he's going to malfunction. And then how R2, what's the name of the astromech on there? I can't think of it right now.
The one that blew up?
Yeah.
The
the Mad Motivator one.
R4D4, I think. Or R5D4.
The red one?
R5D4.
Yeah,
R5. So R2-D2 is going to sabotage him, and he catches R2-D2 doing it to him, and R2-D2 doesn't get to follow through with doing it. So R4D5 or whatever the hell his name is purposely sabotages himself for the betterment of the galaxy, so he knows what's going on. So
Conspiracy theory.
So that was Chris came in really quick. It's a certain point of view. The novel. That's what the book is. That's where it says.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that Leia was supposed.
Okay.
I'll let you borrow it. I have it at the house.
Okay.
It's That,
Again, I'm Star Wars canon literature deficient. I am of the video persuasion. Clone Wars, Rebels, the movies, and Resistance, which is a kiddie show. Let's face it.
So that was the book that it was in. But yeah, it's great stories, and that's where you also find out that Tarkin is having sex with his underlings, and that Tarkin's gay.
What?
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah.
So it's
Peter crushing it. Am I right?
That was a nice one. So that was pretty much it. So, Chris, I don't know if you're still here or not, but thank you very much for that answer because that saved me a lot of time having to look it up or figure out. But yeah, the book's amazing. It's just a bunch of short stories that tell different things. But anyways, we're supposed to go back to Han.
Back to Han.
So yeah, Kylo was already dead, and it was Ben when Han comes in, and now Ben's lost. He just got rid of, Kylo, and there's a lot of talks we can have on how that happened.
Kylo was saved by love,
and then we have we have it where he doesn't know what to do, and his dad tells him, you can do this, son. It wasn't a switching, or getting rid of, it wasn't him telling Kylo for Ben to come out. Kylo was already gone, and he was telling Ben, it's going to be okay. This is what you can do.
Be like your mother
to make things right. Which is, on that scene where it's the replay with holding the lightsaber the same way and having, the same words. Was he supposed to throw the lightsaber at that time, or was he supposed to kill his father? And he went with killing his father. But maybe,
in retrospect, when he got to do it again,
maybe he was supposed to.
With the Force, not the Force Ghost, but his memory of Han, he chose something different, and the dialogue was mirrored the same scene.
So I mean, that's this is one of those great questions that we can talk about at length on this aspect of when Ben actually killed Kylo, or when did Kylo actually die? And then
I think Kylo died when she stabbed him.
And then, that goes into the whole Leia thing. When was Leia? When did Leia die? Was Leia just was Leia really dead and her body just didn't disappear?
I think she was dead. She didn't become one with the Force until her son had made the ultimate sacrifice. I think she was actually dead.
No, because she was still alive, making sure that it happened.
They put a sheet over her. She was dead. She was dead. They put a sheet over her body. Her fucking body was laid out. She was fucking dead.
I thought she died when her hand dropped.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
This is going to be a whole nother conversation time for those two things.
She was not breathing under that sheet, dude. She was dead. She became one with the Force through the redemption of her son, which he helped. But her body was still there because, yes, she was dead, but she had not become one with the Force yet. And this is the whole Force Ghost phenomenon and what you want to talk about it. And you can reference it back to the Clone Wars episode with Qui-Gon and Yoda and that little arc in season 6 of the Clone Wars. And it's offhanded mentioned at the end of episode 3. Your master Qui-Gon, but to become one with the Force versus dying are two different things. And Leia died, but she became one with the Force when her son actually made that ultimate sacrifice. And that was the connecting link between the two of them passing on and becoming one with the Force, is the way I interpreted it.
So she didn't become one with the Force until her son impregnated Rey.
Well, if you want to go with the impregnated Rey story, then yes. But that remains to be seen. We're going to have to be 70 by then. No. But episode 10 coming out in 2050. Fuck yourself.
It's going to be way before that, dude.
But, that's my interpretation of the Leia death thing. And
episode 10 will be out before my kids are old enough to go see in the theater.
Before your kids can masturbate, episode 10 will be... All right. Now we've gone left. Way left. But no, like, basically, Disney can do whatever they want. If they want to do an episode 10, they will. If it's going to be 20 years down the line, it's going to be. Look, we as kids in the 80s, we always wanted a Luke, Leia, Han story to follow up from Return of the Jedi. We never thought we'd get it, especially after the press of episode 3 of Revenge of the Sith. Lucas was like, that was it. Not going to happen. Never going to happen. And we're like, all right. So just because Disney says this is the end does not mean it's the end. It's a huge corporation. I'm not going to get into the money part of it, etc. But they could really pull this off at any time in our lives if they want.
And I'm going to be there to see it. And I'm going to watch every one that comes.
Yeah, me too. I'll watch it again. I'll watch whatever they put out.
I have, including Last Jedi.
It's like Kiss, you know, the band Kiss, and they're like, this is our farewell tour, goodbye forever, and then 2 years later they're like back again. This is Disney and Star Wars. They can re-up it at any time.
It's like the Rolling Stones. They're still going. Star Wars will go as long as they have.
Even if they don't do the episodes, we obviously know it's going to go on. Whether it be the Mandalorian or the Obi-Wan thing or the Cassian thing coming up or whatever. But in terms of actual episodes, like episode 10, 11, 12, like the next trilogy, they could do this at any time.
Yeah, well,
in our lifetime.
That's what we were saying. You know, we got the Lando Chronicles coming. We have the Lando, and the Lando Chronicles could show how his baby is taken from
Jannah,
and then show that, and then actually show a movie about her story and what happened or whatever. And they can throw Jannah and Finn together. Although it was great that they had Finn doing some amazing stuff in here, and whether or not he's Force sensitive or not, we didn't even talk about him being Force sensitive.
We did, and it was referenced in The Force Awakens that Finn was possibly Force sensitive or on his way, or the idea that awakens means Rey is awakening, Kyle is awakening, obviously, and maybe Finn was awakening, and this referenced that idea, which was abandoned during Last Jedi.
I'm thinking he is, because why would he have hold his own against Kylo on Starkiller Base?
Yeah,
with the lightsaber. How, if he's not Force sensitive, how could he hold his own?
Kylo was just playing with him. Kylo wasn't really trying to kill him.
And he fucked with the stormtroopers too before that with the lightsaber, right? Where the stormtrooper had that kind of, you know,
the baton, the stun baton.
Yeah, like it was kind of implied that Finn was maybe Force sensitive.
But speaking that we're talking about all these like future spin-offs or whatever, is there anything else being said about that? I guess it's supposed to be a couple movies about the Old Republic that the guys who did Game of Thrones are doing.
Oh, they're
about that.
They're gone.
They were let go.
That's the whole thing. They
signed up for a big contract with HBO, and they said, "Fuck you, Netflix," and they said, "Fuck you, Lucasfilm."
Netflix is paying
Kathleen
them.
Kennedy was destroyed.
Netflix is paying them $250 million.
Game of Thrones,
$250 million.
Yeah.
$250 million, not to write a set story, but to be like the advisor for whatever. No one really knows what the contract is or anything, but yeah. So they signed up with Disney or Lucasfilm, whatever you want to call it, and then turned around and signed a contract with Netflix for $250 million.
And Kathleen was greatly disappointed.
And Lucasfilm said, "You know what? You can go with them. That's fine. You know how much hostility there was involved in it. I don't really know.
It's Hollywood, so they're all diplomatic about shit. You know,
right?
They're like, oh, we wish you." Kathleen Kennedy was like, "We wish the Game of Thrones guys luck in all their future endeavors," and like the Game of Thrones guys are like, "We wish Lucasfilm all the best," and blah blah blah. We love Star Wars, and it was a very diplomatic Hollywood thing. But actually, the break was probably more acrimonious than we know, just because
Right.
that's Hollywood and that's business, man.
Okay.
So
We are going to have to end this pretty soon. So anyone that's in here, remember I'm going to do my normal live stream on Monday nights, and that's at 8:30. I go on after Rebel Scum podcast after James finishes his. He usually goes from 7 to 8, and that way he goes a little bit over. And that gives everyone a chance to pee and walk their dog and do whatever if they want to do some marathon shit. So I'll be, on my normal 8:30-ish time. But when I was in there getting my Pepsi, the bartender did tell me that the backyard closes at 12. So we only have a couple
15
minutes left.
minutes and we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this has been very enjoyable.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. And when I was able to get in, I listened to you guys before I jumped in, so
Word.
I had to get charged up a little bit.
Yeah, man.
I mean, everybody. I was just reading Mr. Rez. Mr. Rez wants me. I want Toomedtoo is what he said. So,
Have you seen the new Star Wars?
Sounds quite quiet in there for it being a bar.
Oh, we're on the
It's
patio.
the backyard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, because I was like, wow, man, it's quiet for a bar.
We're just nerding out in the back of a bar. It's fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be such
So
a
yeah, so it'll be tomorrow, and there's quite a few people that said they're going to stop by, but I think the problem is I say, hey, you want to come on? A lot of podcasts you go on, it's like you're on for the whole thing. So most podcasts are an hour and a half. It's a commitment to be on it. Where this is just a bunch of assholes talking, getting drunk, so it doesn't really matter what you pop in and do.
He's talking about me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to have a beverage tomorrow with you guys.
All right.
But yeah, so we got a few more minutes still, but as always, we can always try and find some merch to open and unbox.
There you go.
Anybody down with some merch for today?
You got any? Well, yeah, I'm down with some merch. What do you got? What are you gonna open?
We got garbage. We got the garbage truck coming.
Oh,
It's New York. It's noisy. It's really noisy.
So I don't know how loud that is when you guys can hear, but that's what happens. With
Regardless, may the force be with you. And Michael will be doing this thing without my drunken ass tomorrow. So, it won't be as entertaining, but
no, I'm usually boring. I just put my dogs on. Well, my dog now. So Delilah likes to get on camera once in a while, and she's the only reason people tune in. I think just a chance to get a glimpse of her. But this would be a perfect time to talk about the garbage chute.
There's mine.
You know what
What
it's like?
mine are doing?
That's
Nothing. They're sleeping. Mine are boring. That's all they do is sleep.
This is terrible sound optics right now.
It's really great.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's better than listening to our shit that we talk, though. So,
I'd have to say it.
it's very nice.
Michael,
Yes.
you know what it's like being a Jedi that's a dog?
No, Michael. What is it like being a Jedi that's a dog?
It's rough.
And with that, I say good day.
No, it was terrible, as it should be. That was awful.
Horrible.
That was terrible. Anyway,
But I will have to tell that one to my daughter in the morning, and she'll probably laugh. She probably will.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, I was saying I gotta read the book and go see the movie. I was planning on doing some Fallen Order streaming, but you know, I got a advent calendar to edit tonight too. So,
Baby Jesus loves Star Wars.
Big Jesus loves Star Wars.
Baby Yoda loves Star Wars.
Oh, Baby Yoda definitely a Star Wars lover. Because
Yeah.
baby. So, all right, you sons of bitches.
Cheers, motherfuckers.
Oh no, I was gonna do something
Oh,
else. but
ow!
cheers.
Okay.
Refreshing. All right, so
What are you guys drinking tonight?
You know, just robbing banks, doing blow. It's crazy.
I'm doing the Coke.
You guys ever got to be part of my 33rd birthday?
33rd birthday.
Oh, happy 33rd! Do you want to come over here and say hi? to
Happy
everybody?
birthday, Capricorn. I just turned 30. About 2 weeks ago.
All right, happy birthday.
Hello.
Happy birthday. Hello, happy birthday.
I don't know who you are. Hi,
My name is Jessica.
hi,
It's
Jessica.
Hi,
Jessica.
Jessica. Happy birthday.
I'm free in approximately 9 minutes.
9 minutes. 33
Okay.
years
Are you
old.
a Star Wars fan?
Wow.
I think it's entertaining, and then I go on living my life.
Okay.
There
What
you
about
go.
you? What do you think about nerds like us that like talk to people about Star
I
Wars?
don't mind it, but I feel like you pissed off a lot of people tonight talking about.
Oh, I
being a
try
Star
to.
Wars.
Who'd I piss off?
Just people that haven't seen it.
Oh,
I was just talking
I mean,
about
I don't
Last
care.
Jedi
I mean,
and
I don't
pissing
care.
up people off.
I mean, these guys need to come take a shot with me for my birthday.
I will take a
so.
birthday.
Oh, yeah. I'll take a birthday shot. I'll have to get to
In-
my
in
bar
spirit.
downstairs, but yeah.
Alright.
In spirit. Get it? Spirits are liquor. Anyway.
Sorry.
He's going to fire me.
where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just
Okay.
pretending to go somewhere. That was a fake going.
All right.
Anyway.
I don't know who I pissed off, but you know.
I definitely pissed people off talking about Ryan Johnson. I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah,
I
probably.
guarantee it. I don't care. I liked it.
I probably made some Raylos mad, but
I didn't like all of it, but I liked it.
I apologize to whoever didn't see it yet, but there's movies going on right now.
There are movies going on right now.
Yeah.
There's a Ryan
All right,
Johnson
another
film.
Star Wars going on.
There's a TV show, apparently. We're just spitballing
Do you
and
want? Do
bullshit.
you want to come say hi? Do you want to come say hi? You can say hi too,
Sylvia,
Sylvia, if that's your real
Sylvia.
name. Sylvia, come on,
Come
come
on.
say hi.
come on, say hi. Just
Well, right now we got Mr. Rez and Kilo and Nick
Hi.
and whoever. Hang on.
hi, how are you?
Sylvia's saying hello.
Come say
Hi,
hi.
Sylvia, how are you?
Squeeze in. There you go. Sit
Slide
down.
over. More people.
There you go.
Hi, Sylvia, you look warm.
Hey guys,
So I guess we pissed people.
want
I
some
guess- I
popcorn?
guess we pissed people off talking about Star Wars, but I don't know who
Not
it is.
me.
Um,
I know like
Sylvia's not offended.
But I mean, there was only like 3 other people that came out here, and 2 of them talked to Star Wars about me, so I don't know who's mad at me. But you know, if they would have said, "Hey, dude, I haven't seen it yet. Do you mind not talking about it?" I could have found something else to talk about for 4 minutes while they smoked a cigarette.
We could
But-
give them the New York
what we
response,
want.
which would be "Go fuck yourselves."
No.
But,
I,
no,
you know, I mean,
we didn't.
you know.
We didn't do that. We didn't do
Instead, we
that.
just gave them all this.
We didn't do, I mean, I kind of did just there, but it was sarcastic, so it doesn't matter.
okay. So, anyways, so Sylvia, if that is your real name, I'm not going to ask you for your birth certificate or any.
Okay.
So, but I do my live stream,
That's my
and then
password, if you want to check.
All right.
happy.
Just in case I
Hey,
leave
you
the
never-
country today, you never know.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's
sometimes
Trump
that happens.
America. You never know. You never know.
Um,
You never know.
So I always open up some merch or whatever. I get, you know, usually it's books. A lot of times it's books. Every once in a while it's a toy.
Hey,
Or posters.
merch.
$60
That's the
posters.
merch. Come and
Hey,
pay
that's my poster.
your monies. Pay your fucking monies. All right.
Have them sign it and send it to me. I want autographs.
All right, everybody. So here we go. Kilo, we can't see you. Thank you, Mr. Rez. Mr. Rez says it's an excellent show just because Sylvia got
Thanks,
it.
Mr. Rez.
He said
That's
it was.
because of Sylvia.
He said it was fucking crap, and then
See, until you showed
Just
up.
fucking got that.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
And
Yeah.
now we gotta go. So that's it's like
So-
a cameo,
So here we go. All right.
right?
Well, thank you for your cameo, Sylvia, and thanks for joining us.
Our piece of merch. We only have 5 minutes. 'cause
If I have a
Patio
hoverboard,
closes
I
at
join
12.
you. Or a DeLorean.
although Ray didn't use
Wrong franchise.
a hoverboard, she used a wing or something like that.
I know.
Okay,
I was
so here we go.
doing a
everyone-
Back to the Future thing.
All right, everyone, close their eyes. Your eyes are not you, you son of a bitch.
Oh,
Not the
fuck!
one.
You said
Shit.
everyone.
You did say everyone. You didn't
Everyone's
qualify.
everyone's singular. We
Okay.
went through this 30 times.
You motherfuckers, close your eyes.
Okay, everyone's got their eyes
Ready?
Close your eyes.
One.
I'm closed.
Close
Two,
your eyes.
three.
I'm closed.
closed. All right, open them.
Dude, I got him. I have him.
You ain't
He's
never
a-
seen an R2D2 like this.
He was expensive, but I have him.
He's still got the package. He's still got
Yeah,
the
dude.
plastic. on it.
I told them.
You
I
could
said,
suffocate a child with this shit.
younglings.
I'm serious, youngling.
Younglings.
If you were Anakin,
I don't have a lightsaber, so I'm just gonna go strangle all the motherfuckers with this.
Oh
That's not my
no!
fault. Star Wars told me to do it. I wonder if I can get
And
off
so we end this podcast on killing children. Good night. On a positive
Okay. Yeah.
That's
So,
funny.
younglings.
so I figured, like, you go get a large popcorn.
Nah.
You get a large popcorn, a large pop at. Excuse me.
In the show,
Wait. Oh,
Popcorn.
thank you, Sylvia. There's the popcorn.
there's the popcorn.
$45.
I think. Well, no, it's like $22 or something like that. Because when I went the other day, I got a large popcorn, large pop, and candy, and it was like $29 or whatever. So
Super
whatever
reasonable.
We bought this popcorn at the IMAX. It's 3D popcorn.
it is.
It's in real time. It's 3D. It's real shit. Anyway.
You have your glasses on?
So
No, not yet. We left it.
yeah. So
They asked
I
me
need
to
all your
return.
bring all your glasses and all your shoes.
Shoes and glasses so that I have them. Oh my God. God and baby Jesus. Happy Christmas, motherfuckers.
So, anyways, you jerky boys, sons of bitches.
Baby Yoda, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah. So this motherfucker, it's $50, and then they fill it with popcorn and they stick pop in the top of it.
Yes.
I'm not going to
So-
tell you what they stick it with. Please.
The holes are too big for me. Look at 'em.
Stop it.
Oh my god,
Stop it.
it's like a fucking
Stop it.
for my little toothpick in there.
I'm not going to tell you where we charge him
Come on,
from.
this is
Okay.
it's the friction. Makes it
This is a very PG podcast, by the way.
yes.
Yes.
It's not.
Motherfuckers.
It's not for children, but we keep it churchy. So yeah, so it's $50 for it, but you spend fucking $25 for popcorn anyways. So for $25
Right.
you get it. And then I was like, well, I don't want to use it. I want to be able to take it home and not have to wash it. So I was like, can I get a cup
Where are you
and whatever?
gonna
And
wash
they're like, okay.
You don't put that in a washing machine.
No,
It's
dude, I
gonna
take it to the-
destroy it.
No, I take it to the shower with me, and I make sure all the holes are clean.
That
Those up
that
really
I
well.
have so many comments that I should say
I
but
feel like the
cannot.
mannequins should join
And-
us.
I'm not gonna say it. There's a lot I could say. Anyway,
Please don't.
Yeah, so
I-
basically I got it, and I'm not supposed to because when I went home from going to see it with Moneybag Mike's,
dollars.
he rented out the theater
Yeah.
and everything. So went to
They
go
said Mike D, and I said Mike D's nuts.
no, not this Mike, the other Mike.
Oh, that Mike.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So when I went to go see it with the
Beastie
opening
Boys
night,
reference.
I was gonna get this, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna spend $50 on it. And I went home, I told my girlfriend, and she's like, we should have gotten it. You really wanted it. You should have gotten it. I was like, yeah, it was $50. She's like, I would fucking kill you if you came home with that. So,
So now you have to give it away.
so now it's coming home tonight.
Oh,
And what is she
So you
gonna
will
say
die?
tonight?
Huh?
What is she gonna say tonight?
I'm moving out.
No, she'll
It's
just,
me or the R2D2 baby.
She'll just,
And we
well,
already know his choice.
yep. I got a nice
It's
fucking.
got a lot of holes.
Clean hole.
And I got some putty for them all.
Oh,
Oh God, Mr. S has blocked us 8 times tonight. I
Gotta
think.
run. It's a birthday.
Mr. S, there's no such thing as droid herpes. Anyway.
But on that note, we are going to have to call it quits. It's now 12 o'clock and the patio is closed. So
I made it back in. Something happened.
yeah, I brought you back in. She left her to use much room. So
She's cute.
Yeah,
We got-
she's cute.
I gotta pack this up and clean it up and get out of here because we're closing the patio and that's it. So
Okay.
once again, Monday nights 8:30 for everyone that doesn't know. Even though I know most people that are in here, I just don't. Well, I know Mr. Rez and you, and I think Nick's still in here.
Did Nick make it in here?
On a
Oh,
song?
yeah, he did.
Chris,
Yeah, I
I
did see him.
don't know who's left in here.
Mr. Rez!
Yeah, I
Mr.
see Nick. I sent Nick a message saying that we went live and we're talking about the movie.
Yep.
Can I send us off?
Send us off, bro.
Okay. I'm sending us off in a song. Mr. Bill Murray in 1977?
I don't know.
78?
I don't know what you're talking about. So.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. That's Bill Murray. Anyway, good night, y'all. I hope you had fun. We had a lot of fun. I drank some beer. Michael did not, but it was fun for me. Michael?
I had a blast as always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I had a good time, guys. I appreciate it.
Oh, he's so sweet. Mwah.
Aw.
See that? It's love, baby. Brooklyn love. Hey. So, enjoy the last episode of Mandalorian. I'm looking forward to it because that shit was a cliffhanger.
Oh shit! I don't know how I did that. I just made it. I just made it you.
Well, Michael fucked up. Good night.
It's just me. All right, guys. Oh, wait, there you are.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
all right.
All right, man. See you guys later. Have a good night.
Good night, man.
Have a good night.
Enjoy.
right. Mike,
All right. Sleep well.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I had a blast. I hope you did too. We will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow at 8:30. And I said a good day. May the force be with you. Sing Star Wars. All right.
Yeah.